The Cleveland Browns have so much going on right now, but it sort of feels like they are in a stagnant place and are just stuck with big contracts, and it does kind of feel like the Super Bowl window is closing. But I think they have so much young, under the radar talent that are going to break out in 2024 that nobody is talking about. And because of it, I think the Browns are going to have a better season than most expect. And they also made a few key offseason additions as well, so I'm going to be talking about it all in this video. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We're on the road to 30k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so I'm not going in any specific order, but the first player I've talked about many times previously that I think will break out in 2024 is David Njoku. He really established a connection towards the end of last season with Joe Flacco under center, and now with a healthy Deshaun Watson back, I fully expect more targets to finally start to come his way. He is just a freak athlete. He can block for both run and passing plays. Sometimes he can have butterfingers, but when he's on, there is nobody that can stop him. Here are some highlights and what people have to say about him.
Underneath, Njoku. Nice move. And the big body tight end is rumbling out to the 45.
Giants, second down and 7. Browns pick up a first down, and Njoku keeps on going.
Here is question and answer posed to David Njoku about the Ken Dorsey offense in Cleveland.
In regards to Ken Dorsey, just how much have you sort of been able to dive into like the playbook and some of the stuff that he has planned for you guys as you kind of get ready?
It's juicy, dog. It's juicy. I'm not going to say anything else. But I'm really excited for this season.
Moving on, the next guy I think has a chance to not break out, but to do more this season is Cedric Tillman, because the Browns know in the next couple of years they could potentially lose a guy like Amari Cooper, and if that happens, someone like Tillman would need to step up. Tillman caught 21 of his 44 targets for 224 yards at 10.7 yards per reception last season, with 214 of those yards coming between weeks 11 and 17. It took a while for Tillman to really log any stats, for he wasn't used much in the first half of the season. He found ways to be effective in areas outside of receiving, such as pass blocking, finishing with a 76.4 overall grade in that category per Pro Football Focus. An example of this occurred in the Week 10 comeback win over Baltimore. The 6'3" receiver has the attributes to be a legit contributor, and according to head coach Kevin Stefanski, he didn't miss a single day of the offseason program. I do want to highlight a guy like Cedric because he was here, because he worked extra. I think he's a young player that's getting better, Stefanski said. Here are some highlights and what other people have had to say.
You know, people talk about we need a big body receiver. We need something. You know, there's times where Cedric Tillman didn't go up and fight for the ball last year a little bit. Had some mix up in routes and not running the right routes down the stretch with Joe Flacco. But you know, everybody always has an opportunity to come back and improve. JLK started off slow, had a great year last year. Hopefully, Cedric Tillman has turned the corner and he's learned from some of those guys like Amari Cooper that are in that room.
Cedric Tillman, just wanted to do a quick blurb on Cedric Tillman because he was a guy that one of the main dudes at OTAs. I know, obviously, Amari wasn't there. Elijah didn't come to the first session. I mean, he was still out there running routes, but I think it kind of limited him a little bit on some of the drills. So Cedric Tillman was kind of like the top dude out there. And, you know, he's out there building that rapport with Deshaun Watson, the chemistry. We saw Tillman have some issues last year, didn't really seem to be on the same page with the playbook, the play calls with the quarterback, running his routes, breaking stuff off.
The next guy I think could have a big breakout season in 2024 is Jerome Ford. With Nick Chubb's injury, there was a chance early on in the season he will see a ton of snaps. Last season, I thought he was very productive when his opportunity came, and that's why the Browns felt comfortable letting go of Kareem Hunt. To leave him basically by himself in the backfield, I guess there's Foreman too. Here's the deal with him.
I think his play is getting overshadowed, and he's going to be one to watch for this season. Go Browns.
Dealing with a thigh injury is going to play as Ford breaks one. Ford toting the rock to the house. And Cleveland throws down the gauntlet at the start.
Next up on the defensive side of the ball, Martin Emerson really made a name for himself last season, but in terms of the national spectrum, nobody really still knows about him, and I expect that to change this year. I think he is going to establish himself as a top corner in the league, and he's going to have big performances against the top receivers in the game. Last year, Emerson was terrific in single coverage, utilizing his great 6'2" size and solid athleticism to play a smart, physical brand of football with opposing wide receivers. Here are some highlights of him.
Fires, and this one is taken away from Tim Jones. And Beckard's the only one that can save the pick six. And they're not going to do it. Martin Emerson Jr. stepped and took the ball away from Tim Jones and took it all the way back for a touchdown. It looked like Jones had it right there.
The next player I want to talk about is of course the highlight of the offseason for the Browns in Jeudy, who is coming over from the Denver Broncos. We all know how much talent he possesses, but now with an actual QB under center, we will all get to see how much production he can put up. But he will be behind Amari Cooper, so don't expect him to become like a star, but he should be a solid role player that can help the team out in many ways. Here is what he is all about.
Some breaking news, Jeudy, Cleveland Brown.
Wow. They gave Jeudy $41 million in guaranteed money on a 3-year extension.
1st and 10, fake to Williams, blocked by McGlinchey, downfield it goes, 41-yard line, grabbed right there by Jeudy.
The Browns and wide receiver Jeudy have agreed to a 3-year contract extension worth up to $58 million, including $41 million fully guaranteed at signing, per Ian Rappaport and The Arrow.
$41 million guaranteed for Jeudy. That's Alan Lazard money. That's more. Can you believe that? Here's why this is fantasy relevant. I am not the biggest Jeudy fan, certainly fantasy-wise. He seems to, throughout his NFL career, he's been sort of allergic to the end zone. He is certainly not, after lighting the world on fire at Alabama, Connor, he is certainly disappointed in the pros in terms of the expectations coming in to the league. I think it's fair to say, right?
Easily for a first-round pick.
I mean,
look at CeeDee Lamb in that draft. I mean, yeah.
I mean, and so I don't think, and just, whether he had a good quarterback or bad quarterback, like Cortland Sutton was able to produce in all those offenses where Jeudy was not. Having said that, while we don't think he's good, and certainly fantasy-wise, I think, but the Cleveland Browns think he's a star. Given this amount of money makes you think that, like, even though we don't like Jeudy, the Browns really do, because this is a real contract.
So there you have it. Those are just a few of the players I really expect to do some big things for the Browns in 2024. But I'm just human, I'm not always right, so let me hear your opinions in the comments below. The Browns are a weird team to predict because there are just so many outlying factors that will affect how the upcoming season goes. Most of it is on Watson's shoulders, but there's still the question of, can the defense repeat the success they had last season? Can they actually perform in the playoffs when it matters? Is the offensive line gonna finally stay healthy? What will the Nick Chubb experience be like? And all that stuff. But as a Browns fan, it is tradition to stay optimistic until week 1. So that is what I'm going to do. And like I said, they are one of the most talented teams in the league. There is no denying that. It is just about getting it all to come together on the actual field. That's all I got for this one. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.